Hey y'all, welcome back to church. Sorry about the overheating equipment. This microphone is hot in my hand as well. It is warm out here. I'm glad to see you all. And before I go any farther, I'll ask a prayer. Father God, I thank you for another opportunity to stand here before you. Lord, I just ask as I'm here today that I not be a hindrance or stumbling block for you. Ask you to get according to your will, your way, and your word, Lord. I ask you to see all in Jesus' name. Amen. Last week I gave a salvation message, and I wanted to do a message on Memorial Day today, but the Lord just didn't want me to do that. But I do want you to recognize those who gave for your freedom. I do want you to recognize those who gave so that we can stand here and proclaim the freedoms that we have. I want you to recognize them not just today, but forever, throughout every day. Jesus Christ, He's the designer of our lives. And designer is not a strong enough word. He created us all and all that's around us. He ordered all that happens around us, and He walks with us through all that we go through. John 2:8-9 says, and He said to them, draw some out now, and take it to the master of the feast. And they took it. When the master of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and did not know where it came from, but the servants who had drawn the blood did. The master of the feast called the bridegroom. Jesus performed this miracle, and it was for the purpose stated here. The servants who drew the water knew. This was kind of a, I'm here and nothing is beyond me. I want y'all to think that today about Jesus Christ, about the miracles that He performed. And I believe that's why the Lord didn't want me to do a Memorial Day sermon today, because I just talked to you about salvation last week. I encouraged you with salvation last week, more so than usual. But I want you to know that miracles are given to us every day. And this first miracle of Christ here, this first miracle was just that. It was the first miracle. It was the first miracle. When Jesus went on to raise the dead, He calmed the storm with the raising of His hand. He fed thousands with a few fish and a little bit of bread. Jesus Christ, He healed the bodies of people who couldn't walk. He cleansed leopards and all these things that I just told you. You already know. I just told you about miracles that you have likely heard your whole lives if you've been in church. And if you ain't been in church long, you've heard these miracles that Jesus Christ performed. I stand before you there proclaiming the miracle worker, the one who is in control of all things. I look around and I see people who things seem to be spinning out of control around them. And I want to ask you, have you had a miracle in your life? Have you seen a miracle? Or do you know someone that you've seen a miracle in? I delivered this message to you before, but here it comes again. I want you to expect a miracle. How about that? Expect a miracle. You know, I think in a time like this, in a time where you just heard a salvation message, in a time like this where a lot of people is spinning around out of control around you, and maybe some of you here, your lives are spinning out of control. I want you to know that Jesus Christ is still Him. He's still God. He's still in control. And that water to wine was just that, the first miracle. It was the first miracle. So many of you know that to be true. So many of you know that God's worked a miracle for you. And if you're saved today, you know that He's worked a miracle for you in just your being here. Matthew 17:20 says, so Jesus said to them, because of your unbelief, for assuredly I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it'll move, and nothing will be impossible for you. And I want y'all to hear real big what He said there, if you have faith. If you have faith. If you believe, you have faith. I want you to know that so much is promised to you by God. So much power is available to you, but there is a condition that you believe, that you have faith. I want you all right now to claim that promise, and I don't mean to sit there and know in your head that God is God. I don't mean sit there and think, oh, I think I believe, or I wish I had a miracle. I'd like to see, I know that God does. I don't want you to sit here and say those things. I mean, I want you to claim the promise that He's made to you. If you're sitting here and waiting for a miracle, let's do a little bit different than that. How about just not sitting and waiting for a miracle to start with? Now, let's just don't sit and wait for a miracle. Let's get out and proclaim the miracle that He's got for us, and let's get out and work towards the miracle that we know He's about to work. Let's get out and do something and head to the miracle. As we ask God to flatten the mountain, let's get out and head to the mountain expecting flat ground. How about that? If you want God to move a mountain, go to the mountain you're proclaiming to be flat. But we're not going to do that, are we? We're going to sit here and we're going to hold on to our seats fast and tight, and we're going to wait for a miracle to come around us so that we have no effort to put forth. But that's not the way it works, y'all. No, God don't need you to perform a miracle. No, you don't have no part in this miracle. It's just your faith. Just your faith. But when I say just your faith, that's me minimalizing something that is so huge. Christ said, as small as a mustard seed can move a mountain. Man, what do you reckon if we can get that stuff to swell up in us, if we can get faith to swell up in us, what might move? What might move? A mountain move a little bit? Flat? No, man. If you ain't saved and you're waiting for a miracle, start by accepting the author of miracles. How about that? Let's start there. Let's start there, and you please understand that faith is just beginning in Him and in His ability to work a miracle. They all start there. And that's a message for the lost who are looking for a miracle. I want to ask you why you'd expect a miracle from somebody you have no faith in or you profess not to know. How could you look to God and say, I want a miracle from God if you don't know Him, if He's not your God? How can you expect Him to work a miracle in your life? Why would you expect that? First, know Him. Now, for those of you who do profess Him, for those who do know Him, what are you looking for from Him? Are you looking for anything from Him? You should be looking for God to work a miracle in all that's around you. You should be looking for Him to remove all that would slow you down. You should be looking for Him to change all that would hinder you from accomplishing His will in your life. You should be expecting Him to raise His mighty right hand and wipe out all that would oppose you, His faithful child. Can I say that one more time?
Yes.
You should be looking for Him to raise His mighty right hand and wipe out all that would oppose His faithful child. Do you expect that in your life? Do you expect Him to raise His hand and wipe out all that would confront, that would come in front of you, that would change, that would alter, that would hinder, that would hurt you? You expect that from God? I think you ought to. Now, please note that I included the faithful child part in there, because that's where it's at. You got to be faithful in order to receive these blessings, because you got to be faithful to do what He asked you to do as well. And then you expect, and I do mean that, expect the miracle. Expect the preference that He gives to His child. Expect the miracle you're looking for. Now, be in His will, and expect the miracle. What are you looking for? Are you expecting the mountain to move? Or are you expecting to stand there and just be bogged down? What are you expecting? Most of the time, we get what we expect. Now, I don't know how many of y'all have ever been the boss. How many of you have ever been in charge? I know a lot of you have been mamas and you had children. And what do you expect of the employee? And what do you expect of the child? You should expect a lot. Expect a lot. When you lower your standards, you tend to get not much. When your standards are high and you expect a lot, you tend to get more. You know, and I want you to expect a miracle like I have in my life. I don't know how you look at your life. I don't know if you look and say that God has changed and done a mighty work in you. I don't know if you do that, but you should. If you're a saved child, you should. But I expect a lot. I expect a lot. I've told y'all before, I have never bought a lottery ticket. But if I buy one, I'm going to be a millionaire. Because the Lord will have told me to buy a lottery ticket. And He tells me to buy a lottery ticket, I reckon I'm going to be retired next week and we can build a new building or something. But He ain't told me that. But I have full faith in believing that He tells me to do it and I'm going to win. He tells me to do something, it's going to be successful. It's going to be successful to the place where He meant it to be. I said to you many times that God is God no matter who you say He is. Now you got to say He's your God to receive His miracle and not just benefit from the miracles that He gives to me. But that's not me pointing at myself or pointing at you. That's me telling you. If you're around faithful people, you're going to benefit from miracles. If you're around faithful people, you're going to benefit from the faith that they have. If you're around faithful people, God is going to do for them, and if you are in their proximity, you are going to be blessed because you are around the child of God. You are around the child of God. If you come to this place right here, God is blessing this place right here. He is blessing this house. He is blessing this congregation. He is blessing us. Now I want to ask, are you receiving the blessing fully yourself? Or are you just coming in and enjoying the blessing that He's given to us? Are you taking part? Are you holding on? Are you receiving a blessing in yourself? Or are you on the outside just benefiting from the blessing that He has given to faithful people around you? I say all this only to repeat myself. Expect a miracle. Expect a miracle in your life. Expect Him to move. Expect Him to change. Expect Him to do in your life. And He will. He does every day. I'm nothing but example. I'm nothing but example. And I want to tell you, I told you that he would flatten the mountain, that he would change, that he would move. And what faith does is it grows into you. It lets me know that when I head towards that mountain that I told you to be faithful to go to, as I head towards that mountain, when I get there, if he ain't flattened it, he wanted me to see the view from the top of it. When I get to that place, if that mountain is not flat, I'm supposed to climb that mountain. And when I get up there, I'll stand up there in victory with him. And he said, I brought you here because you need to see what I see. You need to see what I'm showing to you. If I go into a turn and the Lord says be straight, it'll be straight. It'll be straight because he'll make it straight for me. But if I go into that turn and it doesn't straighten out for me, I'll know that he wanted me to turn there. Does that make sense? This is elementary. If I got faith, I believe that the mountain is supposed to be there because he wanted it to be there for me. If the road turns, it turns because he needed me to turn. I have faith in knowing that if he sees fit that a mountain should move, it'll be moved for me. I have faith in knowing that my God will do that for me and your God will do that for you. It don't matter what the burden is. It don't matter what the mountain is. It don't matter what the turn is. He's there in all those things. Doesn't matter. God is God no matter who you say he is. Now, I say that to y'all a lot. God is God no matter who you say he is. It's important for you to say who God is now. It's important for you to say that he's your God. Not just say he is God, he is your God. How can you claim a miracle from a God you don't know? Do you want a miracle? Do you want a miracle? If you want a miracle, you claim this God as your God. You claim him as yours and you hold on to that. And I assure you, the mountain will fall or it won't be a bad climb. One or the other. I assure you that God's got a plan for you in that mountain. I assure you that God's got a plan for you in that turn, that curve. I assure you that God has a plan for all that's in your life. All you need to do is be faithful. All you need to do is be faithful. And you get to that mountain and you climb that mountain, you'll find out you were supposed to be on top of it. You get to that turn and you turn, you'll find out that God meant for you to turn there. And you'll have faith in knowing the next time that as I come to a mountain, I'm either going to climb real hard or it's going to flatten out for me. That's where us Christians are. We need to go up to a mountain planning to climb real hard and expecting that God's going to flatten it out for us. I said a lot of times to you, work like it all depends on you and pray like it all depends on God. Our whole lives should be lived that way. Our whole lives should be lived that way.
Amen.
I'm going to close there. I want to tell you that miracles happen every day around you. Are they happening for you or are they happening for somebody else? Do you want the miracle in your life? Do you want God to straighten? Do you want God to lower mountains? Do you want that or do you just want to benefit from the person beside you's miracle? I'm going to tell you, just benefit from the person beside you's miracle is not enough. God is a personal God and he wants you. He wants you to have. He wants you to receive. He wants you to be and have the best that you can have. You can only have that through him. This Margaret's coming forward. She's going to pray for us. And I want y'all to take this for an invitation. I want you to come forward and say, I need prayer. I want you to, and when I say come forward, I mean find one of these deacons to stand outside the vehicle. I want you to come forward and tell them you need prayer, or you're making a decision, or you want to be saved, or you want to lay a burden down, you want, whatever it is, I want you to come forward and I want you to tell them, and they'll help you. And if they can't, they'll refer you to me. And when I can't, I'll refer you to God. We'll keep pushing right on until we get you to where you need to be, but you got to get to God. You got to get to God. I'm only the one that can tell you about miracles. He's the one that performs it. So whatever your need is, let's pray as you come forward.
You know, our God is so good. He's so awesome. I did not know about Pastor Keith's message today, but I had something in my heart I wanted to share with all of y'all. It's about a miracle that happened a long time ago. 13 years ago, Memorial Day weekend, we were on our way to say goodbye to our daughter that was dying of cancer. We needed to travel from here to Wyoming, and it took many days. And during that time, we stopped in Kentucky and visited with our son, at which time we did not know that would be the last time that we would see him physically, because 3 years later he would be gone. But when we left there and continued on our way in North Platte, Nebraska, my husband collapsed. And I screamed when I seen him hit the ground and I looked into his face. I screamed God, please, somebody help me. And from out of what seemed like nowhere, we were surrounded by people. And these people asked, do y'all believe in prayer? And I said, yes. A man prayed, a lady prayed, another man prayed, and I prayed. And then all at the same time, everybody started saying the Lord's Prayer. And that's what I want us to do today. Like I tell I'm the coordinator for the Good News Club at Timrod. And every time we meet, we start off with prayer. And at the end of what I pray, I tell the children, when I say the number 3, all at the same time, let's say the Lord's Prayer. And that's what I try to teach them, because you never know, down the line, when you might need something like that. So I'm going to pray. When I say 3, will y'all please say the Lord's Prayer with me? Father God, we just thank you so much for the time that you allow us here to worship you, Lord. We don't have to be in a church. We don't have to be anywhere but in your presence, Lord. And we thank you for Pastor Keith and Tammy, all they do to continue to get your word to us. We pray for our deacons for standing behind them and doing whatever needs to be done. And Lord, most of all, we thank you for what you do for us. Lord, we pray for the people affected by the virus. Whatever their needs are, Lord, we pray they'll see you provide us direction. 1, 2, 3. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into